Once again, this is yours truly, D Mecca, representing my girl, ESP Speaks. So sit back, relax, as we take you on a journey. I'm your DJ for the night, D Mecca. You can catch me on Good Morning Soul, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on www.shestheboss.com. But in the meantime, in between time, sit back, relax, as we get ready for today's host, the lovely Miss ESP Speaks.
I'm ESP.
And I'm JAXS.
And this is ESP and JAXS Speaks. It's 2021. We made it
Finally.
through. We made it through. We made it through, Jackie. We made it through.
We did.
And you guys, right now, it was. But I want to just let them know you're watching us on Facebook Live, or you're on YouTube or Twitch Live right now. But a little later on, I'm going to tell you how you can find us if you have to bounce out. There's other ways to continue this program. But yeah, let's come back, Jack. 2021, we're out of 2020. You know what? I got a joke for you, Jack.
Okay, it better be good.
We're in 2021. WON.
We won?
Yeah, 2021.
Nah, 2020 is not a winner. No. No.
The whole point is we can't get away from it. We're still dealing with this COVID crap. We're still dealing with the residual from this presidential election. He's finally going in office on the 20th, right?
Can you believe it? I think it's to come back and stage a whole dramatic affair for this January 6th Senate meeting.
What's
Still
happening?
More games.
What's happening on January 6th? I know they want to come back and redo the budget or something with the budget. What's happening on January 6th?
No, on January 6th, they the formality of certifying the election. And so now we have some Republican senators who are going to try and block something that they cannot block. And I think a lot of them are just vying to be, the next candidate for 2024. Got you. So, yeah.
Got you. There's a name for that day. Now that you say it, I think it's something. It's something day. It's like a solidification, as you're saying, solidification day. I'll look it up. Are we taking calls? Because I heard your phone go off already, and I patched in your phone as the call-in number. Do we have a call already?
No, we don't. I thought it was a call, but no, we don't.
All right. So we're just, you know what? Let's talk. Can we just send everybody to hold and let's just have some fun and talk and get into Rants and Resolutions? That's the show today, is Rants and Resolutions. Of course, Jackie's going to do the rant because I don't do rants well. I just get pissed off. She gets really mad.
Really?
But I do resolutions really good. I have a whole
Mhm.
bunch, Jax, I got a whole bunch of great ideas that are gonna like things that you can really do. You know how people make resolutions and by halfway through January you're like, I can't.
Hence the reason I don't make resolutions. So I'm really counting on yours being things that I can implement without thinking too hard.
Well, okay. I promise you I have some. But before we get into that, I want to let people know that if they want to do some low cost advertisements, we do have a program where we can run your commercials during the segments of the shows or between the segments of the shows, I should say. So if you want to do that, give us a buzz at 929-336-7887. If the operators are busy, just leave a message and we'll get right back to you. Or you can type in the comments field that you need me to call you, or you can inbox either Jax or myself on ESP Speaks, and we'll get back to you because you know what? That's one way to support the show. This ain't for free, We pay to be with you. So if you want to advertise, somebody might have a little small business that they want to advertise in a specific way. And we have very high traffic. Our usual monthly intake in terms of listeners is over 40,000 now. So you will be communicating with the Facebook community and now the Twitch communities and other communities. And as I said, I'll bring you up to speed as to what our platforms are now because it's quite a few of them. I'm going to take a breath here. Jax, are you ready for my stop laughing at me? Are you ready for my first resolution?
I'm ready.
You know what? Can I ask you a question? Should we call 2021 the Aloha year?
Aloha
Yeah, because Aloha is hello and
and
goodbye at the
goodbye.
same time.
No, because we're kind of saying hello again, too. Nah,
Okay.
nah.
All right.
2020, the loser. Let's just call it what it is.
Okay. Moving on then. Um, Here is my first resolution, and this is a good one. This is saving with a purpose. Now, since we've been locked up for over 9 months now, and I guess by the time this whole thing blows over, it's going to be at least a year, maybe even a year and a half. We're going to want to get out. And as a people, we really love to explore, we love to be outside. And some of us need to get out of our own neighborhoods and go somewhere else for the very first time. But funding is an issue. Even if you had a great job before COVID, you might not have any job at all. So now get a 2 liter bottle, like a 2 liter bottle of soda. I mean, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter what it's from, just the size is what's important. And I like most people use credit and debit cards nowadays. I found that with the kids, I tend to use cash because I want, especially my younger ones, I want them to get into the habit of counting and learning how to count change. Because let's be frank with you, some of these cashiers in the stores don't even know how to count the change. If they didn't see it come up on the thing, they wouldn't know what change to give you.
That's so true. That is,
Um, it,
it's shocking, but true.
listen, I went and paid cash, and the girl said it's 1910.
And you gave her
I
10 cents.
I
Help.
gave her a $20 bill with 10
And
cents. She looked at
10
me like she's
cents.
crazy.
She was confused, I bet.
I was so embarrassed for her because this was not a 16-year-old. She had to be 27. I was embarrassed for her that she couldn't figure this out. And there was a lot, girl, please. All right, back to the subject. Anyway, sorry, you know how we do. Get a 2 liter bottle, and every time you use change, like my 15-year-old, every day he comes in, he cleans out his pockets and the change go in the bottle. It's been working because this bottle, and he's on his third time around because we've been doing it for about 2 years. The bottle ranges anywhere from 2,500 to $5,000 in change. Can you imagine that? five thousand
Yeah,
dollars in change that we've collected.
that's a very easy way to save because you
Yes,
don't really use change that much in the store anyway. So just throw it in a jar, put it in your 2 liter
exactly.
bottle. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And here's the thing. After COVID, when we started coming back outside, I took all of my change and gave to one of the stores because because people weren't using money, they didn't have any change in the bank. So I figured, let me give back some change to help the stores do what they need to do in terms of making change. But that's just me. I'm just that helpful kind of chick.
Bypass the coin star, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And
That seems
listen,
very doable, though. Very doable.
very
With a $20 bill and a dime. Okay. Which brings me to one of my rants. Now,
and
I
here
don't
we
know.
go.
Here we go. Here we go. I see you got your rant skills on too, though. You just don't want to admit it. But I have noticed a use of I with an apostrophe S. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like if I would,
I
like if I were to say to you, "Oh, girl, my boyfriend and I's truck was towed the other day." Yes, my boyfriend and I's truck. What, your eyes? So when you tell me that this young lady cannot figure out the change for 1910 with a $20 bill and a dime, I'm wondering, what are they teaching in school nowadays? Because the I apostrophe S is being used rampantly, as if it makes me think now, well, did we have another rule change? Because it's no longer converse. We can now say conversate, because yes, the dictionary has said, okay, you want to make a word because okay, we'll make it conversate. Okay. So now we've got I apostrophe S, as if there's more than one I. Well, there are two eyes, but there's only one eye. I think you're going to play something a little later that will kind of go into how the English language is being butchered. Now, I'm not the one to say every time you talk to someone, you should be on your P's and Q's of the Queen's English, but it just makes me scared for the future of English. It really does.
Well, my pet peeve on that is I hear what you're saying, and I'm agreeing with what you're saying in terms of things being ill placed or made up, basically. But my problem is that the powers that be keep adding these things into this urban dictionary that they're creating, and they're condoning the behaviors. Case in point, there's a word, the word is regardless, but I hear in a month maybe 80 people, 80, and I'm undercutting it, saying, and educated people, irregardless. There's no such word as irregardless. But
Never
I
was.
guess so many people have said it that they actually have this urban dictionary that they added it to, and now irregardless is a word. The word is regardless.
Regardless.
And I tell adults this, you know me, I'll check you in a minute. And they look at me like, who are you? The English police? I'm like, no, but you're saying it incorrectly. So I'm with you 100%. But the eyes thing, eyes don't know, eyes don't care. Is that how it would be used in a sentence?
Well, you and I's, we don't make the rules, so.
God.
And we can leave it at that.
That you hurt me with that one. I just that I felt that you. Okay, so now that you've started, now that you've opened the door,
I've opened it.
I get that we text. I get that we can't type everything. You've got autocorrect. I don't know how much more lazy you need to be, because you're typing and the thing finishes the words for you. But why do we have to abbreviate everything? LOL. Do not disturb DND. Be right back. BRB. Somebody said, I read something the other day and it was DWLPMSL. And I'm like, what the hell is this person trying to say? Come to find out, it was a West Indian. They were saying down with laugh because they were laughing so hard. And the other one was pissing myself while laughing. That's a bit much. I mean, do we speak fluid sentences anymore, or is this what we're destined to be?
Well, it all kind of ties in together with butchering of the English language, because now everything has to be abbreviated. There was one time, when we first got online with you've got AOL, and you go into chat rooms, and at that time I'm typing out everything I want to say. It's normal. And I was actually admonished for using all of my words. Can't you abbreviate? This is too much to read. So I said, IMO, in my opinion. I'm just keeping true to form, who I am, LOL. Like, ta-ta for now. But which brings me to another thing about social media and where it is leading us today. I would recommend to everybody that if you have a minute, in fact, make a minute and go on to Netflix and watch the documentary, The Social Dilemma. It will break down everything that social media is doing to us as humanity. This is the first time that companies are able to trade in human intellect. It is eye-opening, and I think that all Americans, young and old, if you're a parent, have your children watch it and see how we are being manipulated and underestimated, actually. And we're just giving up all of our intellect to these companies, and we're being dumbed down a lot by what social media does. But on the flip side of that, I can't hate on it because social media allows us to keep in touch with our families and friends. It allows us to be our own marketing agents. We can run our own businesses now. We don't have to have, brick and mortar. So with the good comes the bad and the ugly. But I think we all should be in tune with what's going on so we know how to make the right choices when we click that button. And
that's right. So we're going to make that a challenge. Everybody needs to watch that film. Say the name of that film again, JAXS, please, because we're going to make that a challenge for the next month, that they have to tune into our site and they have to tell us what they think. And we're going to put a series of questions out where they can win prizes. So give them the title of that. It's on Netflix. Give them the title one more time.
It's on Netflix and it is called The Social Dilemma. Okay. Please watch.
Very powerful. And again, parents, watch it because it's extremely important for you to see where they're leading your children from a marketing standpoint. Very powerful. So are you ready for another resolution?
Yes, let's get happy again.
Yes. We were happy with your rant.
Oh, I know, girl.
Rants are important. They help let off steam.
They do.
All right, this is for my people who are forever on a diet and never getting anywhere and always gaining weight. But here's a ding it things this year. Cook a new dish once a week. This will allow you to expand your taste. Try something different with the family since we're all still spending so much time at home. Good Housekeeping released a 30-minute dinners cookbook, and all of the recipes are 1,200 calories, and they're designed for families 4 or more. If you're less than 4, you could just cook and put the stuff away because it keeps well. But once again, cook a new meal at least once a week and try something different.
I'm down with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, they're low calorie, so it helps with the dieting. Okay.
Well,
what most people don't understand is that they shouldn't be dieting; they should be lifestyle changing.
Lifestyle changing. I was just about to ask you that. Yeah. Diet is a bad word. It's a 4-letter word.
Okay. So, Jack, we got to take a quick break here. so we can do one of those commercials where somebody actually wrote in and said that they needed it done. So you take us out, and we'll be back in a second. You know what? I'll take us out. We'll be back in a second with ESP and JAXS Beats. Come on back and hear the rest.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Make a wish. I know she ain't about.
Oh my goodness.
Please don't do that.
That's not right.
No bueno.
No cake for me.
Yikes.
Fanta cake is the cool new sanitary way to blow out the candles on your cake.
Make a wish. I love my Fanta cake.
Fanta cake rock.
I want some cake.
That's cool.
Get yours today at fantacake.com.
Please tell our listeners and viewers where they can keep up with the show and hear us, maybe if they can't catch us live.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, we're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube Live, we're on Twitch Live and Periscope Live right now. There is a rebroadcast within the next 24 hours. So if you want to see us visually on screen, you can hit any one of those 4 sites again. However, if you like to listen to us when you're driving, we are on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube once again, because YouTube also has an audio version. We're in TuneIn, Anchor Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Twitch, Stitch, Overcast, and Pocket Cast. If you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at espspeaks.com or at ESP Real Talk on Instagram or at ESP Talks on Twitter. And remember, tell a friend, share the news. We're on every Saturday at 6 p.m. on the 4 main sites, which are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and you can catch us on Twitch if you're a gamer. Is that enough for you, Jack? You think that enough?
Girl,
that was a lot, right?
I need a nap after that.
Well, they can tune in. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we're here. You know, it's a lot of fun. So, Jack, listen. I need a good rant. Come on. You got me all juiced up. I need a good rant. Let's go.
Okay. So I'm going to piggyback off of the whole cooking thing. I think that's a great idea. I think as we grow, we should never stop trying new things. If you're not here to continue to learn, why are you even here? I heard a very good saying today. We're not living, we're just breathing to death. No, I don't want to breathe to death. I want to live so bad. And sometimes I find comfort in food. So, going along with what you're saying and trying to make healthier choices. And that's why sugar's got to be shut down.
I get you. Because that is one of the things that needs to be taken out of your diet. I think I actually do have that somewhere on one of the lists, but I have to stay organized because my brain is like, it goes off on its own. I guess like your sugar and Sprite. But are you ready for another resolute that you can actually do?
Absolutely.
All right. So get a calendar. I know a lot of people are afraid to buy a calendar because last year they bought calendars and they never had to use it because we didn't go nowhere. But get a calendar and sit down, wait till maybe mid-January and sit down and schedule all of your doctor's appointments. Because you know how we go through the year and we say, I got to go do this. Oh, I got to go do that. I have to go this appointment. I have to schedule this appointment. And we never get to them. Well, if you wait till the second week of January and you sit with your calendar and sit with the names and the phone numbers in your phone book and call every one of your doctors and schedule an appointment and schedule your exams. For instance, schedule your PC. You know that you have to go to your PC and do a physical. Schedule your vision, because that's, especially in our age, that's something that you need to do. Schedule your dentist. These are yearly things for the most part. Schedule your mammogram. And for the ones who are moving into the mid 50s and up, I think it's after 50 you're doing this now. Schedule your colonoscopy. All right. If you're going through menopause, get to your GYN. In fact, you should be doing your pap smear once every 2 to 5 years in our age group, because we don't want to do exams too quickly, too often, because it might create a false positive. And once again, in our age group, we deal a lot of ovarian cancer and fallopian tubes and so on that have cancer, because we're not using that equipment as much. But schedule the appointment. If you have kidney stones or so on, or if you're having pain with your kidneys, you need to see a urologist. And men, schedule your doctor's appointments, because women are more proactive when it comes to going to the doctor. Men, you don't want to go. But if you schedule it and you make the appointment in advance, you have time to ease into it. You have time to accept it. You have time to wrap your mind around it. And it becomes less of a frustration, because you're in control. That's the big thing. You're in control of what's about to happen. So schedule your doctor's appointment. I think that that's a realistic thing to do, right?
That's completely realistic, because an ounce of prevention is worth it. It's just worth it. I've been through situations where someone should have gone to the doctor and didn't, and things happen. But just, I would say, just live your life proactively. Prevent, like she said, schedule the appointments when they're scheduled. That's one less thing you need to think about. When it comes up, you'll be more likely to go.
I mean, people have said to me, I don't go because I know something's wrong and I'm scared. I'm sorry, what? I know something's wrong and I'm scared. So, okay, let's weigh that out. If you're feeling badly and you have a history in your family of a particular issue, and you know something is wrong because you're familiar with the signs of that thing, and you say, I don't want to go because I don't want to know. So you're just going to curl up and die and end up having to go to the emergency room and having them tell you you're in stage 4, whatever, with the information that you know that you could have prevented it from happening. I don't know about, well, I do know about you, but I don't know about our audience. I'm here to live. I'm here to use the science and technology in the best way possible to extend the life that I have. So, based on what I just said, with people saying, I don't want to find out, I want to know in advance. If there's something wrong with me, I want to know so that I can prevent it, I can stop it, I can treat it, and I can move on. I have children. I want to be here for them. I want to see grandchildren. I want to see the progression of life, and I want to enjoy myself. Doesn't that make sense, Jack?
It makes complete sense. We're all scared. No one wants to hear the bad stuff. But if we get in quick enough, keep in tune with our bodies, and do what we have to do, it's easy. Like you said, doable resolutions.
Which brings me to another point. This wasn't a part of my resolutions, but you said something very integral. And I had mentioned this in another show that we had done a couple of weeks ago. Dealing with the fear. Jax, you and I come from a generation where people didn't talk. Women didn't talk. Something was wrong with you. Oh, see, you don't say anything. That's not how we live right now. Hell, you can get on a face group and type your ailment and find a group of 5,000 people that can rally around you. You don't have to do things alone anymore. You don't have to go through breast cancer alone anymore. It doesn't have to be a shame. It doesn't have to be something that you have to hide because you have it. You don't have to go through chemotherapy by yourself. There are enough of us in a sisterhood of women that can have empathy and help carry you through. So don't be afraid. Call your doctor. Do the mammogram. Do the blood test. Do the examination. And if nothing's wrong, guess what? You're healthy. and you can start saving your money for that trip. Because you know what? I gave you already one way to save. I got another couple for you too. So let's get it done. That was a biggie. I love that one.
Yeah.
And I want to stay with health for a little bit because here are these people who love to buy these gym memberships. And then they're all ganged up and I want to go and they're in there every week. And then it's February and your gym clothes are hanging on the new equipment in your room catching dust and you're not wearing the sneakers that you bought and you eventually stop going to the gym and you want to beef with them about getting your money back. Well, why don't we bypass all of that crap and let's take a measure in ourselves. Now here's what I mean. I'm a driver. Because of a physical ailment that I already have, I drive practically everywhere that I go. I'm really not allowed to be on the subways. It has something to do with noise level. It has something to do with my brain. Okay, so I drive. So rather than parking right in front of the building that I'm going to, I'll park 5 blocks away and get a nice brisk walk to where I'm going and a nice brisk walk back. Those little extra miles and extra footsteps that you're putting in per day really help to keep your blood pressure in check. They help with your A1C and they help you to feel alive and keep the blood flowing and keep the movement going. You stop before you go into the room, you fan yourself off, take a little tissue and collect the sweat and then go on. You just have a glow now. But these are all little things that if you're doing them on a regular basis, imagine how they add up, Jax.
Well, for me, I live kind of in the sticks. Everything is flat, so there's no elevators. So that's not an issue for me. I'm going to park far away in the parking lot anyway, because I don't want you dinging my door. So I'll get my exercise because I parked far away anyway. But it's doable. It's complete. It's about a quarter mile to my mailbox and back. Okay. So I just need to wake up and say, okay, I'm going to go get the mail today. Even though I know there's not a check in there, I'll go pick up all of the ads and magazines. But yeah, it's doable. It's doable. And we all need to get moving.
You exercise to avoid an insurance claim.
What are you talking about?
You said you don't want me digging your door, so you park far away.
You will not ding my door, okay?
Oh
Which,
my God.
if you have a minute for another one of my little personal rants.
Go on. That's what we're here for.
Well, you dinging my door, and then when I get in my car to drive home, you're sitting in the left lane and you won't let me by. Like, keep right except to pass. Can you say it with me? Keep right, except
to pass.
except to pass. Again, it's a whole thing of I don't know if driving rules have changed or what's going on in the world nowadays. But look, passing people on the right-hand side is a dangerous thing to do. Nowadays, they make cars that are very insulated. When you get in and the windows are up, you don't really hear outside noises. So you feel like you're in this protective little bubble and that no one can hurt you. Please remember, it is a 2-ton plus vehicle. And when people,
I said it's a weapon.
It's a weapon. And look, just practice good highway etiquette, okay? My father used to say, if you're in the left lane and someone comes up behind you and they want to get by, let them by. Let them take the ticket and keep it moving. It's frustrating because I don't think people realize that if we all followed the rules of the road, we would not have as much traffic as we do. So again, I know these rants may not be world matters and things of that nature, but they matter. They matter.
They do. Because you're hitting on things that people want to say, but they listen, I have a business partner that every time I open my mouth about driving, he got a problem with it. And then we end up fighting. So it's like when I want to ventilate about the driving, I have to fight him because I'm ventilating. But what you're saying has it holds so much water for me. I'm going to go back on something that you said in terms of I don't know what people know. Here's the deal, Jax. We're old school. When we learned how to drive, they were still giving driving education in school. Remember that? When in high school, you took driver's ed and they put you through your paces. We also had driving programs where it wasn't you take a couple of classes and go. You were required to take packages of 10 to 15 classes. And the driving instructor was a little old man that was as old as God and had been driving forever.
With the clipboard.
With a clipboard. So you knew that you were getting something instructional. And remember this, because they don't do this anymore. Before you went out in active traffic, all driving schools had a huge parking lot with cones and stuff like that. And you had to go and practice the cones and practice and before they even took you out in the street. Right. Then you had to spend classes out in the street. Then from the street, they took you to the highway. Let me tell you something. You can take a class at a package of 3 to 5 lessons right now and be out on the street within 3 days. No way.
No way.
I have told my kids repeatedly, just because you have a driver's license, don't fool yourself, because you don't even begin to know how to drive.
Exactly.
I've been driving for 37 years, and I'm just bombarded with the stupid that's out on the road right now. And JAXS, they don't know. I realize that these children, these older people, there are people my age who are just learning to drive right now. They don't know the nuances of the road.
They don't.
Slowly. There are people who do not know this. There are people who do not know how to maintain the passage of traffic. You get into a flow in traffic and you keep your car at 45 to 50 miles an hour, steady pace. You can't be on your brake every 20 seconds and lights flashing every 20 seconds and short stop and short because you're playing with the radio, you're playing with your makeup, you're playing with whatever. You can't do this.
I'm sorry. That's okay. I just want to make a bunch of signs. So like when I'm passing people, put the phone down. Stay to your right, please. Why are you putting on lipstick? This is not the place to do your makeup. It's just, but just be careful out there.
The car companies are not helping because, okay, we can't text. You can't have your phone in your hand. You can't do this. You can't do that. So they give you a whole control panel across the front of the car. Now you're playing with the car itself.
And then they want to ticket you for being distracted. Well, my big navigation is right here saying, can you please tell me where you're going? It's like, well, okay. Just be careful out there.
I can't. And then you want AI to take over because they want to have the carless, the driverless programs where you can be in the car and the car is going to drive you.
Yeah. If I ever see someone in a Tesla behind the wheel sleep, I'm going to lose it. Do you understand? I will lose it.
I have driven. Tesla drivers are the worst drivers ever.
Privileged drivers.
First to begin with, I can't believe in New York. Now I'm out on Long Island. Do you know how many freaking Teslas there are on the road per day? It's ridiculous. And here's the thing. They're not even mature adults. This is a $70,000 to $90,000 car. Some of them are $125,000. You know who's sitting behind the wheel?
Babies.
20-year-olds.
Babies.
You parents out there that are letting your kids drive your Tesla, y'all should be slapped. Because you couldn't even get a hoopty before you was 20 and you had to work for that.
I just want to ask you guys right now, who's ranting? Huh? Your
I'm
skills are
sorry.
picking up, girl.
See, but this is why I don't do the rants because I get.
We both do. It's okay. It's okay. So you have any more
No. Yes.
positive resolutions for us?
Let's build a better budget. Let's
Okay.
everyone say that. Build a
Build
better.
better budget.
Okay. Now, in terms of building a better budget, we all need to look at our money and the way we're spending. I know, again, in COVID with my kids, oof, Amazon lived at my front door. I had to tell the UPS guy, I said, listen, why don't you just make camp? Because they were there every day. It's like, how much stuff can you order?
A lot.
That's a whole nother rant. I'm sorry. Okay, so in order to help you build a better budget, and see what you're spending and see where your money is going. And actually, these two apps that I'm going to tell you about not only give you a budget construction, but the second one, well, the first one is called Mint. And Mint is it's teaching you how to save money. And if you owe money, what people don't understand, if you owe money, you can't save money. You have to, if you're paying out bills, it's hard for you to put money to the side because usually something comes up and you ended up using the savings that you're trying to put to the side. But in this app, Mint, they teach you how to save as well as pay off or pay down your bills. It's a very good program and it's also good for young people as well and really teaches you the skills on managing your money. There's another program called You Need a Better Budget. Now, I can't think of a better name than that. You Need a Better Budget. That one's very interesting because not only does it have billing and bill pay and savings, it also helps you balance your checking account. It has a part of the program that teaches you to diversify and gives you a investment portfolio of a small change investment portfolio where it can put in for penny stocks and so it's a really great program. So download that. It's called You Need a Better Budget, and the first one is called Mint. So those are to help you with your budgetary needs.
That's a
Okay.
good deal. Got a little tip to follow with that. If you do use credit cards, treat your credit card as cash. And that means if you have to charge something because you don't want to carry cash with you or write a check, treat your credit card as cash. Only buy what you can pay off in the month. It's a great way to keep from accumulating debt. And like you said, if you're paying off debt, it is really hard to save. But now is the time to try and figure out a way to start saving.
And that's the second time you said that. So let's deal with the now is the time on a positive resolution note. In the time of COVID, and a lot of people don't realize that they can pick up the phone, you can call your credit card company, and you can take control of the situation. Some people with bad credit run their rate of finance is anywhere from 23 to 29%, which is basically highway robbery. You can get them to pull those finance charges down on the card as low as 6 and 7% because you have a balance. They know people are not working. Just like you and I need money, they need money as well. So if
Mhm.
you make an agreement with them and start off another program, you have the upper hand. So pull out your bills. Sit down, look at what your finance charges are. Look at your percentages of what you're spending because I don't know if you know this, family. If you are over 36% usage of what your credit card should be, you have a problem. Let me say this in a different way. 100% of your credit level would be you maxing out your credit. You want to take 35% or lower. That's the running balance that you want to keep on your credit card per month. So if your credit card is a 100, just as an example, if your credit limit is $100, you don't want to have any more than $35 on that card at any given time. Anything past that is going to incur you charges that you don't need to be carrying on a monthly basis. It also throws your FICO score into hell. So when your other credit card companies, when you're filling out for credit, they're looking at the fact that you can't manage or you can't keep your level of usage within that pocket. That's where you need to be, no higher than 35%. 50% in the case of an emergency, but pay it down really quickly. The other thing is, I hear people talking about they want to pay off their credit cards. You work hard for that credit. The one thing that you do not want to do is pay off your credit. You want to bring it down. You can keep on some cards a $10 running balance, but if you pay them off and it's paid off for more than 30 days, they will close it out and you will lose that credit line. A lot of people don't know these things, Jax.
Yeah, and another secret that goes along with that, if you want to save money, you want to pay down your debt, what's the first thing most people do? They look for credit repair. The things that credit repair does are the same things that you can do. I have called credit card companies, changed payment dates, gotten balances lowered, gotten balances taken completely off. So you can take that power into your own hands and clean up your own credit and save the money from having to pay credit repair.
That's it. You need to learn how to play the game or the game will play
Exactly.
you.
Because they want something. If you can offer something, they'll work with you. When you go rogue, you don't pay, you don't play, that's when you're going to have a lot of problems.
Okay. So let's get a rant. We need a rant now.
Okay. I'm going to bring it to something that I'm having a little bit of a problem with, and that is the wearing of masks. Okay.
I knew.
How did you know? Now, I don't have a problem wearing them. I don't. And in fact, after all of this is done, I'll probably still keep wearing them because I don't want your colds. I don't want your flus. I don't want anything like that. But I just have a problem that we have made this a political debate. Now, if we go back to 1918 pandemic, they had the same political debates. There were half the people that were ready to wear, half the people that felt that it was government control. I think if we could look at it as, number one, not only are you protecting your family and yourself, if you are human and you have empathy for humankind, you will wear it to protect others around you. Number two, if you can walk into a restaurant and that restaurant says to you, no shirt, no shoes, no service, and they've added no shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service, why do we have a problem when we get to the mask portion of it? I just, I would wish that people would really take stock of what it is that we're being asked to do. And that is simply to put something on our face. And I'm assuming the majority of us don't want to be there. But guess what? If we can sacrifice a little bit now, look at what we can have later. If we had worn our masks when New York went through hell, when we went through that hell, I sat there and I thought, every state around this nation is going to see what's happening and they're not going to do this. And now we have California in a worse position than New York was. So it is disheartening to me that as human beings, we can't just take something as simple as putting on a mask to protect ourselves, our families, and each other. Take the politics out of it. And let's just be human again. Can we just be human again and get through this? And soon we won't even have to wear them anymore. Some degree. And it's like I heard, I believe it was Dr. Weinstein from, this was like back in the 1950s. He said, the person that has a mild case of COVID could spread it to someone else, and that person could get that COVID in all of its extremes. So just because you have a mild case and you say, well, that was mild, if I infect somebody, it's no big deal. Well, it is a big deal. So I would just say that maybe we need to regroup and rethink about what we're really doing here. All we're trying to do is put on a mask to protect each other and get through this.
You know what? Unfortunately, what's going to stop this thing really, it's not even so much the vaccine that's going to stop it. It's the fact that people are going to get tired enough of dealing with it and they will stay inside just for it to end. I really believe that we're going to come to another shutdown because things are going to get so bad. And that's what's going to slow it down and really get people to think. And, you know, you have the new president coming on board who is about to start a mandate that people must have these masks on, and if you're not going to wear them, stay ass inside.
Well, wait for it. Wait for it.
All right, and you know what? There are a couple of. I mean, I'm talking the political thing, and I'm hearing so many other things happening in my head because I really wanted to. I expected that you were going to come up on a rant with this. The kid with the phone, because I know we were talking about that last week and we said that we needed to talk about it this week. The child with the phone with his father who was staying in the hotel.
Yes.
Now, they get off of an elevator, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you, as the hotel manager, know me to be as a guest with my child and I get off the elevator, how, Jax, are you going to let a woman who walked in off the street? I'm sorry, I'm telling your story. Go ahead.
No. Please proceed.
Because I have the videos, you know. I loaded up the videos for you. Do you want to watch them and then talk about it?
Let's watch the video.
All right, so let's watch this because I had the original one that all the networks were running, but I got last night. I got the one of the hotel camera, so we're actually going to see her tackle this 14-year-old child. So people are pushing back against her being arrested, but she actually tackled somebody, and somebody ran up and did what she did to me on the street. They better be arrested because I'm coming for them.
Over a phone.
Let's take a look at this clip.
Please.
Because I'm going to get arrested today.
I got your bail.
Phone video captured a woman falsely accusing a black teenager of stealing her iPhone at a New York City hotel Saturday.
This is my phone.
Show me. No.
You don't have to explain nothing to her.
Take the case off. That's mine. Literally didn't get it back. Please.
Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
No. Okay, then show me.
The unidentified woman wearing a mask accused 14-year-old Keon Harold Jr. of theft. Harold's father, a Grammy-winning jazz musician, recorded the confrontation on his phone. The woman tackled and scratched the teen. A short time later, an Uber driver who found the woman's phone in his car returned it to the hotel. The hotel apologized to the Heralds. The woman has not.
Yeah, but a precarious time. I would like to address one last resolution, and I'm going to look straight at the parents that we have. Family, the kids, sit down with your children. Have a conversation with your children. Your child's mental health right now is so at risk. We have teenagers that are not allowed to go outside and interact. The little ones I'm worried about, but not so much because the little ones, we keep them closer to us. We keep them in the house. We're more doting over them and watching over them. It's the teenagers that I'm concerned with and the young adults, because this is the time where they're supposed to be outside, away from us, finding themselves. This is the time where they're supposed to be getting on subways by themselves, getting on buses by themselves, finding their sense of direction, seeing the world through their own eyes, seeing the city through their own eyes, not ours, interacting with their friends and learning the social skills. I really believe that as a government, we need to allow these children without penalty to redo the last 2 school years. Because look at what happened. Look at what has happened over the last 10 years. You had, what was the chick's, the one who was the head of education? I can see her face, but I can't remember her name.
Betsy DeVos?
That one, who mismanaged the whole educational system.
Never had experience in it.
Exactly. Prior to her, you had Carmen, what's her name?
Can't remember the last name, but yes.
Well, she was rewriting all of the textbooks, and they were doing the new math, and they were doing the new skills, and we had all the new crap, and then they found out it was crap, and the children weren't learning anything. So you went straight from them reconstructing the old school learning methods into this new phase of not even the teachers being able to teach because it didn't make sense to them. Then you took it to somebody who didn't know what they were doing because they never had managed a school system before. So the kids were not learning again. Add in a mayor that doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, managing the New York City school system. Your child really needs a break. We can't treat them in the regular way that we have been treating them. Some parents are stringent. I'm one of those stringent parents who I keep them to a rules and regulation system. But I realized I had to lighten up because especially my last one, he's going through a mental turmoil where not being able to talk to his friends or interact with his friends in this Zoom thing, and then they're online playing the video games. It's a whole new world. And their mental psyche is suffering. Their physical beings are suffering because they're not getting the exercises. Their endorphins are dormant. They're overweight. Then add in the chemicals in the food that we're, Lord,
that's a lot.
Talk to your children. Sit down and just have a conversation with them and see how they feel. They hear people dying. We weren't inundated with death on a daily basis in the way these kids, they don't even have to be sitting in front of a television or in front of a screen. There's pop-ups that are telling them while they're playing the game. They're listening to us listen to the news. I'm a news junkie. CNN runs 24 hours a day in my house. My kid is inundated with COVID death. He does not want to go outside.
Yeah.
Take a minute. Talk to your children. I'm going to do, a lot of you have written in and said that you want to see Che Johnson come back. Che Johnson, JAXS. Che Johnson was the psychiatrist that we had 3 months ago. And we're going to do, we promised our audience that we were going to do a call-in show where they were going to be able to do with him live. I think it's a good idea. So I think maybe around Valentine's Day, we should schedule for that and do a live show with Jay and let him talk to the people, because we all need a mental break. You all need a massage. We all need a mani-pedi and a massage and a nice, relaxing, meditational space. If you need that as an adult who's sitting in front of a screen trying to do your job, don't you think your children need it as well? Lighten up on them. Have a conversation with them. Make them dinner and have an old school sit down with the family. Play a board game and talk to the kids. See what happens. And on that note, JAXS, you know what? We got to get up out of here.
No. We have flooded the airwaves with good, the bad, and the ugly, but I'm so glad we ended on a good note. It has been a trying year, but guess what? We're still here and we're going to get to the next one.
And I don't know what ugly you're talking about because we're beautiful. The good, we have flooded the airways with the good, the bad, and the beautiful.
Beautiful. I can go with that. I can work with that.
And on that note, listen, we love you, family. We'll see you next week, Saturday at 6 o'clock. It's time for us to get out of here. And you know what I'm going to say.
I know what
I'm going to say. Okay. So what am I going to say? I'm going to say be positive and
just negative.
Say good night, JAXS.
Good night, JAXS. Love you, girl. See you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.